Hi, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you're having a beautiful day. So we're going to do some fairy messages here. We're going to do a fairy messages reading for whoever was guided here. We've already have some fairies jumping, and we're going to see what the fairies, and I have some beautiful dragon cards here too. We're going to see what the dragons and the fairies have for us. So for those guided here, fairies, what do you have for them? What do they need to know now? All right, we have a bunch of stuff here coming out. We have the Guardian of the Gate. We have card 64, which I can't read. I'm going to have to go to the book. Card 6, the Singer of Connection, and card 15, the Journeyman. So what I'm getting right off the bat is something is going to be returning for somebody. Something that you've forgotten about even is going to be coming back in. Okay, let's take a look and see what else we can find out about this. Let's see what card 3 says. I'm going to go to the book because with the fairies, it's just best. It's a whole like giant hardbound book for the fairy deck, so it's hard to remember. Let's see here. Passages to new life, openings, gatekeeping. So let's take a look here. The presence of the gatekeeper in a reading may indicate that the client is being asked to help open the gate for someone, to help provide an opportunity to them. The job of the gatekeeper, the gatekeeper's assistant, is merely to open the gate, not push people through it. So I feel like some of you out there are being guided to maybe assist somebody in making some changes. Maybe somebody has someone who has changed so much, you thought that that person, and this is very specific, somebody has someone in their life that's changed so much, they thought that person would never come back out and show themselves again. But they got lost for a little bit. They got lost along their journey, and you are like the one who is the light to guide them home, like a lighthouse almost, I'm getting. It's like you're being called to help someone with their new beginning. To help someone almost with a soul retrieval, I'm getting very specific. I know that sounds odd. Let's see. So for everyone else, drawing this card indicates a passage is being made to the beginning of something new in our lives. It speaks of new opportunities and new openings. Passing through this gate may lead to a physical journey, a mental or emotional one, or a journey of the spirit. It always leads to adventure. This gateway also leads to significant change in our lives. The passage through such a gate changes us. So I feel like definitely there's a big transition coming in. You're being guided to a new beginning, or you're a part of someone else's new beginning and you're helping guide them to it, okay? I do feel like, you know, you're sort of leading the way here with the Journeyman. All right, and here is the Guardian of the Gate card, and there's like a interesting glare in here right now, so I'm sorry about that. Next we have card 64, and I will tell you in a minute when I get to that page what it says. The writing on it is hard to read. I do this all the time with this card. It never sticks. The Gaucha. Sudden shock, unexpected events, rude awakening. So it sounds like some of you, the fairies might be kind of telling you that some of you are having a tower moment coming in. This is like, you know, waking up to something you didn't expect. So the Gaucha in a reading speaks of sudden, often violent breakdowns of his existing structures, habits, patterns, or attitudes. When we become too tightly confined by our own self-imposed limitations, including the desire for comfort and security. Some of you, I can't talk. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's terrible. Oh my God. Gaucha kindly breaks the structure restraining us. Okay. So some structure that is restraining us, something that is, we thought was necessary, is sort of being broken away so that we can birth into something new and pass through this gate. Okay, so you have like a tower moment coming in. I feel like friends and family are going to be a big part of this, a big help to you through this. And I'm not saying something bad is going to happen. Tower moments are not always bad, but they can be, you know, something that is trying and teaches us lessons and changes our life from that moment forward. So it's like there is, and we have the guardian of the gate, like you're passing through this gate, and you might have to even shed some layers of yourself. And I feel like that's what the Gaucha says, like something is going to make you shed some layers of the onion that is you, you know, the layers of you that no longer serve your highest good, stepping out of those layers and in through this new passage. Let's see what the Singer of Connection says coming out next. I love this fairy deck. It's just, I love the Brian Froud fairy deck. It just speaks to me so much. I used to use it all of the time, and I haven't used it as much lately. Spiritual connection, karma, balance, and empathy. Through the power of this singer, all connections are made, held, and released as appropriate. So we have talked about shedding some things. You having to let go of something that doesn't serve you. You peeling off the layers of yourself that need to be shed so that you can pass through this gate. It's like you're being, it's almost like you're getting ready to change timelines, so to speak. And so this singer indicates the connection of things, especially reconnecting those that have been sundered. It is unifying and reunifying. It tells us that to be aware of the connection between different aspects of the issue under discussion, as well as the connections between people linked by it. We also may need to build more connections, a network of mutual support. The presence of this singer of connection and reading indicates support and strength flowing through connections between those involved. So I feel like all those involved in this situation that are tied to you are some are going to be brought closer together through this change, and some might kind of fall apart. And that's like having to let go of what you're being guided to let go of because it no longer serves, you know, your highest good. And we have the Journeyman here, card 15 coming out. Did I show you the Singer of Connection? I think I did. Card 15. I had intended to do zodiac readings all day today, and I kept being stalled, and I guess this must be why I was meant to do this instead. The Journeyman, adventure, independence, polishing skills, and travel. So some of you are embarking on a journey of independence. You might have to leave some things behind. You might have only a close friend or two left going with you on this part of your, this next part of your journey, you know. So this card means adventure, independence, travel. It means a long path ahead, we hope. The card speaks to the need to perfect skills in working and living, but it acknowledges having sound grounding in the basics. Optimistic, innocent, and willing to learn. Ungus, the guy in the card, also shows us that intuition serves us well, but only if we pay attention to it. Remember that. Sometimes we are operating from theory alone, and we know, and our knowledge may or may not be well grounded in reality. This card does not necessarily refer exclusively to beginners. It can also signify progressing along a path, moving into the unknown from the known, a phase, a new phase, and an ongoing process, right? I really feel this unraveling, this unfolding for whoever is guided here. This sort of like going off into something new and stepping through something, you know, that might be kind of scary, but he does not worry. Look how sure he just takes his steps, and he's riding along. He's going with the flow. He's riding on his friend's head. He's got support with him. He's got everything he needs, and he's going off into the dark, but he is not afraid at all. So this card does not necessarily refer exclusively to beginnings. It can also signify a progression along a path, moving into the unknown from the known, a new phase in an ongoing process. The card may also represent untested concepts or ideas and suggest a need for balance between the intuitive and the rational as one approaches the unknown. Consider where you are going. What are your long-term goals? What are you doing that is helping you move toward them? So I feel like a lot of you are being asked to make some changes, make some new connections, because you have some goals deep inside, but you might need to remind yourself of those so that you can actually get started on accomplishing them. So you can step through this gate, this portal, this opening that's coming for you. We're going to find out what the Enchanted Blossoms Dragon deck has to say. The fairies have said their piece. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we have ambition coming out of the bottom of the deck. And the fairies were talking about like reviving your goals, making some small changes in yourself, because once you start making some small changes, it helps you to get into the energy of, hey, I'm ready to make some changes, and bigger ones can come in. I've been recently doing that myself, and I'm noticing the difference. Just small things like I was going through depression, I was sleeping too much, too little. I've been trying to give myself an 8-hour window, and instead of on a day where I'm like depressed and I want to lay there for 10 or 12, which when I'm really debilitated with depression, and also I do have like an autoimmune disorder that makes life a little difficult on me. I can get depressed. It makes me want to lay. I need ambition, and these small changes we make help us to accomplish the ambition. So we have truth coming out. Bittersweet nightshade is the flower, but there's a butterfly and a flower on each card, okay? Truth coming out. Let's take a look and see what truth says. The quest for truth is a journey we must all take, and it can be painful. Once discovered, truth can be the compass that guides you through decisions and experiences. In your soul, you know the truth to be the absolute tenet and the personal pillar through which you may effectively govern life. Identifying these principles means you have a yardstick for when you are faced with difficult decisions or ideas. You can then make decisions accordingly. Your truths will be reevaluated and tested throughout your life. The truths you had when you were younger might not be the ones you hold dear today, but once you find your truth, it is easier to be faithful to yourself. What are my main truths today? That's what you can ask yourself, okay? Asking yourself, what's your truth and what is it that you really want for your life, so that you can set these goals and move through along like the journeyman without fear toward them. All right, we have affection coming out, and I'll show you. These cards are always so pretty. I don't use these very often. We have affection. Let's take a look. I don't want to read the whole thing. It's a lot. Think about those you feel great warmth toward. This could be family, friends, or anyone in your life you feel affection for. Is there a friend you haven't heard from in a while? Or a family member who could use a quick phone call, right? We had that showing up with networking and kind of reaching out to people. So I think there is a need for those guided to this reading to be true about what they really want. Reconnect with someone who needs you, who you miss, who you've been meaning to connect with. Show them some affection with truth and sincerity. Get the motivation to do that so that it can help to unravel some other things that it's meant to trigger in your life. So let's see what else it says here. Take a moment to reflect on someone you feel genuine and sincere fondness towards, and reach out to them. Let them know how you feel. We get so caught up in our daily lives that often we lose contact with people who matter to us. Be the one to instigate the reunion. Get in touch with those you adore and be ready to receive that affection in return. Some of you are just really, you're finding your truth, and you're embracing it with sincerity, and you're moving forward into the unknown. And I feel like some of you are going to take someone from the past with you, okay? Be the one to instigate the reunion. I love that message. I love it. It just feels like that's the main message of this reading right now. I'm going to go ahead and mark this so I can come back to that after. I'm going to get just a couple of the fairy tarot, and then we'll get a fairy message and we'll wrap it up. I really feel like the main messages of the fairies and the dragons here are to tell somebody out there they need to reconnect with someone, and their reconnection with that person is going to help them and the one that is in question. Yeah, we have the Ace of Leaves here. So yeah, an opportunity for a new beginning, to shed some layers and be fresh, new, and green like the springtime flowers and new foliage, it feels like. We have the Eight of Bells. So some of you may have to kind of walk away from something, or maybe some of you did walk away from something, and this is how the universe is saying, hey, take the initiative to instigate the reunion, because you've been wanting this, you've been thinking about this, and when you do, look, Look at the fairies playing together and the sun. The sun is coming out for those involved here. Step forward in your journey. Step out of the layers of the things that no longer serve you. Make tiny little changes that will slowly lead you to the sincerity of your truth. Okay, walk away from what doesn't serve you for this new beginning, this new portal opening up, okay? Some of you, look at this, we have the Lovers even coming out. Reconciliation and the Lovers. I feel like every reading I do lately has some form of like reuniting with somebody. But I feel like this is more, I mean, this could be love. Apply all this how you want to, or how you need to, or how it resonates with you. But I feel for a lot of the people guided here, they just need loving, affectionate connections, like to step away from the internet and the individual interaction of our phone screen on Instagram or social media or reading, and call a friend, go out and take a walk with someone, visit an elderly neighbor down the street. Right now, as changes come in for you, you are going to feel so much better as you spend time with people who enjoy your company. You have the sun coming up. Look at this. You have the Lovers. Is this the Lovers? Yeah. You have the Lovers. Look at this. Two people, friends, romantic love, family, an old teacher. Somebody needs to hear from you, and I really feel that is why you're guided here. It's going to make you and them so incredibly happy. So happy. Let's get you a fairy dust card before we wrap it up. Little messages from the fairies. Fairies, what do you have to tell the person guided here to your special fairy messages reading? Oh my, we have trust and truth. We had trust or truth earlier. Now we have trust. Trust, breathe in, breathe out. Let go of doubt. So if there's anything in you that's being like, I shouldn't contact this person, I should stay away, I shouldn't call them, it's their fault, I don't want to talk to them, try to breathe in, breathe out, and let go of doubt. Like, don't let that darker side overtake the good that's trying to come out here. You know, take the initiative and trust in what you're being guided to do. Trust that the reason you've been guided to reach out to someone or to speak to someone who has been trying to reach out to you that maybe you have avoided because you don't feel, you know, good about it, or maybe you just don't feel ready, or you feel nervous. Not because if you don't feel good about something, you maybe shouldn't do it. You got to follow your intuition. But maybe you just feel nervous. Maybe you're afraid to be rejected. Maybe you're afraid it won't work out again. That kind of thing. But it feels very much like, look at that. Yes, like peace is coming. I was literally about to say like peace is coming into this situation, and there pops out peace. I wish I would have just said it first, because those kind of synchronicities are so amazing, right? They remind us that we are not alone in this world, okay? Peace, friends and family, and those who care. Peace is yours today to share. If that is not a message to reach out and connect and have some human involvement in your life, and as you go through these changes into the new, embracing the people and surrounding yourself with the people who love you, who you flourish around, who you watch your mood rise around, and also sharing your beauty, your love, and your heart and soul with the people who need you. Like I said, walking down and saying hi to an elderly neighbor, you know, just, you know, bringing a friend some flowers, or calling up an old friend and saying, hey, I've been thinking about you, you know. I had somebody from high school once tell me that I was always pretty friendly in high school, you know, and I had somebody tell me that I made a big impact on him. Nobody was ever very nice to him, and you know, his family didn't have a lot of money, so he didn't have the nicer things that a lot of people had, and he sort of, not we, the other people, because I embraced everyone, was ignored or picked on. And I said to him one day that his eyes were so beautiful. I said, you have the prettiest blue eyes. I love looking at them. And it was like 20 years after high school, and he told me, you know, I never forgot that. Like, you were the one person that said something nice to me. And I felt so good, like, for the first time, maybe ever, and through school years, because somebody noticed something and made a chance, you know, told me about it. And that gave me goosebumps, because it's like, you just never know how you're affecting someone that needs to hear or feel your love, kindness, and affection. One time I called a pizza shop and I was like, I just wanted to let you know I just got a pizza from you guys. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, it was so amazing. Thank you so much. I've been so depressed all night. You guys brought it to me. I didn't have to leave. And I mean, it was the most perfectly made pizza. It made me feel better. And I wanted you to know I appreciated that you put such time into this. It is amazing. And she was like, oh my God, thank you. I never heard anybody call to tell me anything nice. It felt so good to do that. I'm serious. Like, give it a go. I feel like there's just a lot of major change coming in for the person guided here, and the fairies are with you through that. And the fairies are trying to help you help some family and friends, or just connections in general through that. It might even be somebody brand new you meet on the street, but we all affect one another. We really, really do. We're all in this together. Thank you so much for stopping by your fairy messages reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want information on how to connect with me on a more personal level, please check the description box below. The fairy and I are sending you our heart light. Take care.